Now this guy right here made a big buzz during the playoffs. Let's get to it. What's good, YouTube? It's that fantasy guy back with another video, and we're here to have a outlook on Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis was drafted with the Buffalo Bills, 4th round, 22nd pick. He didn't fully meet my wide receiver prototype that I like, but it was some question marks. But he did fit the alpha receiver profile. Plus, he was an early declare, so that was some things that I like. 6'2", 216 pounds, ran a 4.54, catches with hand, catches the balls in small windows. I really didn't have much to say on Gabriel Davis. And I'll be honest, I can't remember it's because I couldn't find that much tape or not. But one of my favorite scouts, Lance Zerlin, gave him a starting grade. But I didn't like the fact that he was drafted in the 4th round. I always geared towards players drafted in the first 3 rounds. When it comes to quarterback, more so the 1st round or early 2nd, I might take a flyer on. But as a prospect, when I looked at the film, nothing really stood out. But he did hit some marks. I like the size, and I like that he fit in my alpha wide receiver profile. Now let's take it back to this season. He finished as the 54th wide receiver in PPR, averaging 8.5 points a game. That's not gonna cut it. Now, the craze, of course, has been when he scored the 4 touchdowns in that game, and that equaled 52 points in fantasy. But we didn't get none of them points because it happened in the playoffs. So now people is excited, and his value have jumped. People is excited about what can he do next season because they love the offense, they love the quarterback he attached to. So they're expecting that he gotta do better than 8.5 points that he did this year. So where are we projecting him to be drafted next year in the fantasy drafts? Claypool had a 4 touchdown game, and this year he was drafted in the 5th round. So in my mind, that's the earliest he could be drafted. That's it. I mean, if you drafting him earlier than that, in my mind, you crazy. Because you really going off a leap of faith. Matter of fact, I honestly, from what I seen, I don't want to part of him unless it's best ball. That's just me, though. Next question. What is his worth in Dynasty? And this is a big one because, that's where all the buzz been coming from. Dynasty players, because redraft is over, so all they doing is sitting there watching the playoffs, sitting on a sofa, enjoying the games. But we out here still got teams to manage. So we've been seeing Gabe Davis advertised in many leagues for a first. People just trying to get that first for Gabriel Davis. And some people have bid on that. But do I think he worth the first? Negative. Negative. Gabriel Davis was worth a 3rd prior to this. Now, I'm not saying that I would have sold him for a 3rd because a 3rd is random. At least Gabriel Davis, he's attached to a good quarterback. You're attached to a good offense. So why would you sell him for a 3rd? That's just what his value is. Now, what he should be sold for? A 2nd, easily. I did sell him for a 2nd. If you buying him for a 1st, you done lost your mind because the man have not shown you that he can even average more than 8.5 points a game. I'm not going to go buy him for a 1st just because he had one big game. And let me work through my process because maybe I'm tripping. So while I'm on here, I'm gonna work through my process. I'm gonna start naming out some 22 rookies who I would rather have, and I'll see how many I get to before I say, okay, I'll take Gabe Davis. Would I rather have Kenny Pickett or Gabe Davis in a super flex? I would rather have Kenny Pickett. That's one. Would I rather have Garrett Wilson? Yes. Would I rather have Treylon Burks? Yes. Would I rather have Jameson Williams? Yes. Would I rather have Chris Olave? Yes. Would I rather have Drake London? Yes. Now I can go. I'm gonna put. Would I rather have David Bell? Yes. So that's 7 right there. That is 7 right there. I'm pretty sure I could probably pick out some more wide receivers, but it depends on the draft capital because I like other players like Jahan Dotson, Charleston Rambo. You know, there's other players I like, Justin Ross. But if these people are not getting the draft capital, I'd rather take the guy that, even though he don't have the draft capital, he's tied to the good quarterback and a good offense. Now, I'm at 7. Would I rather have Isaiah Spiller? Yes. Would I rather have Breece Hall? Yes. Would I rather have Kenneth Walker? Yes. Would I rather have James Cook? It depends on the situation, so I'm not going to say yes. Would I rather have Kyron Williams? Probably depends on the draft capital in the situation. So, stop right there. Brian Robinson depends on the situation, draft capital. And then when you get to the tight ends, if it's a tight end premium league, and I play in a lot of safe leagues, so they're 2 points tight end premium league. Would I rather have Trey McBride? Yes. Would I rather have Jalen Watermatter? It just depends on where he's drafted. But I named 11 players that I'd definitely rather have over Gabriel Davis. So if you want to trade your 112 for him, go right on. If you're a championship team and you want to make a bet on Gabriel Davis, go right along. Because whoever you're getting at the 112 probably is not going to be a player that's going to produce right away. He's probably going to need to develop. So if you think you can get right away production with Gabriel Davis instead, okay, can't be mad at you. Because what's the difference from trading the 201 and the 112? What's the difference? There's no difference this year. So if I say trade him for a second round, the 112 is like the second round. So, and that's where I stand on Gabriel Davis, man. Wide receivers come a dime a dozen. I'm not going to give them no real draft capital for Gabriel Davis. But for the ones that did manage to get a first round pick for Gabriel Davis, congratulations. Congratulations. Hey, man, there's a sucker in every league. And I'm not trying to put y'all down if y'all did pay for Gabriel Davis, but, you know, it wasn't worth it, homie. You know, it wasn't worth it. For one game that didn't even count to your fantasy production, that's the tip the scale for you? Nah, I'm good on that. Against a Kansas City defense without the Honey Badger. Come on, man. Come on. You know you fell for it. You know you got suckered if you paid the first. Come on, man. Anyway, I'm not trying to keep y'all long. I'm out.